Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down because today we're talking about celebrity stalkers. Now, Nick, I might not be a celebrity, but I've had my fair share of stalking, all right? I've had weird messages before, but I would say I've never experienced anything to this scale, and this isn't a welcome sign for people to start. I'm just saying that this is what we're talking about. Don't do this to me, please. You know, love is always in the air, right? We just had Valentine's Day, and now it's time to snuggle up and thinking about how love can be harmful. Love is a very dangerous drug, my friends. But to be driven so far to stalk someone that the love can know no bounds, they have to love me, or they don't know it yet, but they do love me, is something so horrifying. So today we want to go over some very fun stalking stories. I am inside your home. First, we're going to talk about celebrity stalkers. You know, in the age of intense parasocial behavior, people will sometimes go to great lengths to meddle with the lives of the people they consume online. Sometimes, obsessed fans simply want to meet them. For others, however, things can take a much, much darker turn. Such as a streamer who got their car set on fire. We're gonna start light. like how this is us starting light. This is our entryway, is a streamer's car getting set on fire. Come on in. Welcome to the stock zone. A streamer named Kylie Carter, also known as Just Foxy, was enjoying a vacation away when she received a phone call from her mother at 2 a.m. 1 hour later, it might have been a demon. In tears, her mother explained that someone had set her car on fire and that the police were on their way to investigate the situation. Upon inspecting the footage from her security camera, she saw that her car was damaged beyond repair. If you look at the photos here, it is absolutely f***ed.
You could buff that out.
Yeah, you know, you take it to the shop, they're just like, this is something I think we can save. We can probably restore this. Rewinding to the day of the crime, she saw a masked man calmly starting the fire before leaving the scene. He was later identified as 28-year-old man Farham Jami, who was suspected to be a viewer of her live streams, and it turns out 28-year-old man Farham Jami, who was suspected to be a viewer of her live streams, and it turns out that this person had traveled 700 miles from his home in New York to commit this crime. That's like a 10-hour drive, but only an hour and a half plane ride. So it's like, it's not the craziest thing. The fire had hopped from the car to her house, almost burning it down with her animals inside. Luckily, firefighters got there just in time to put out the flames, and the man was ultimately arrested. It's horrible. Don't be wrong, Just Foxy, glad nothing happened. Or, I mean, your car's gone. Sorry about that. But I guess what I mean is no one was seriously hurt. A psychopath was arrested. Thank God. Could have been a lot worse. This is what I mean by the entryway of stuff, because these stories get much, much darker, my friends, such as the Miranda Cosgrove stalker. Miranda Cosgrove, who you might know from iCarly and all that shit, told the story of how she was aggressively targeted by an obsessive stalker in 2016. She was living in LA at the time and had no idea that she was being stalked. How many people do you think know that they're being stalked? How long do you think it takes until you realize you're being stalked?
Too late, when they have a knife up against your throat.
Like, I guess suspicion. I wonder what the signs of stalking are. Editor, if there's signs of stalking to where we can warn our viewers here, roll that clip! So, you know, look out for that stuff. Yeah, I know there's gonna be some people who are like, that's just what my boyfriend does. I'm like, cool. Yeah, that's weird. That's what I do to this girl I really like. Mm-hmm.
That's me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's everyone here at the Me Canyon Studios. I don't know, I like this girl, but I'm afraid to talk to her, so I just follow her home. I just want her to get home safe. Those are the kind of people, too, that see Nosferatu, and they're just like, dude, Count Orlok's kind of a baddie. Count Orlok's got that Riz game.
There was a lot of girls simping for Orlok.
Oh, I know, dude. He traveled the world for her. I'm like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Her boyfriend's next to him, just like tweaking and shit. He's just like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. He's like, he's fine. I'm gonna fix him. I can fix him. He loves me. That kind of shit.
It's true. You can fix them.
Okay. Anyways, back to Miranda Cosgrove. iCarly. One night, after going through a bad breakup, she decided to stay the night at a friend's house just for a little support, right? Her boo thing, her boy toy broke up with her, and she's just like, I need a fucking girls' night, dude. I'm staying at your house. We're gonna eat Haagen-Dazs, and we're gonna chat it up.
Wait, do you think the stalker knew she broke up, and that's like, this is my chance?
No, I think, well, as the story progresses, I think that it was just, it makes me believe in God almost. All right, how the story, I'll go into it, because that night, the night where she broke up with her boo thing, or a boo thing broke up with her, and she was eating Haagen-Dazs, and she's like, I'm gonna stay over here when I watch Legend of Bagger Vance. Remember that movie?
I don't have no idea what that is.
You've never seen Legend of Bagger Vance? It's a golf movie with Shia LaBeouf and Will Smith.
Okay.
Or Matt Damon. I'm pretty sure.
I've seen the Shia LaBeouf one where he's like the caddy boy, right?
Yeah, okay, it's Matt Damon. Matt Damon, Charlize Theron, and Will Smith. Anyways, what's crazy is that night that she went to do that, her stalker had made his way onto her front yard, where he proceeded to light himself on fire before fatally shooting himself and dying on the property. That night! If that's not divine intervention, then I don't know what is.
Wait! Today's episode is sponsored by Fume, the leaders in flavored air. Breaking up with your bad habits can be a hard thing to do, so let Fume help with that. Sometimes the best way to get over something is to find a replacement. And Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that helps fill the void when you're ditching a bad habit. The best part is, Fume is not vape. There's no vapor, which means you can use it anywhere. And they just launched their new flavors, Spearmint Ice and Cinnamon Heart, to keep your company while you're building better habits. Plus, there's no nicotine, no toxic flavors, and no batteries involved. Fume also helps you calm down. With satisfying snaps and clicks, Fume is the perfect partner when you're feeling anxious. Fume has already helped over 300,000 people build better habits. Try Fume today. And if you order the Journey Pack, now using my code PAPAMeat, you'll get a free Fume topper and awesome accessory to help level up your experience. Go to tryfume.com/PapaMeat or scan the QR code on screen. Thank you to Fume for sponsoring this episode, and back to the episode.
Do you think she called her ex-boyfriend and thanked him?
You don't even realize what people are doing to me. I'm a catch, that kind of thing. And what's even crazier is you think that the guy just went there and you hear the story and you're like, oh, a huge iCarly and Drake and Josh fan and School of Rock fan and blew his brains out in the front yard and let himself on fire. It could have ended there. But after reviewing the camera footage, it was revealed that this man had paid a visit to her home previously. They say the man buried random objects in her yard, like knives, rope, and a lunchbox containing milk chocolate. And on the night the man took his life, he was seen in a long trench coat, pacing around her yard for 6 hours with a gun in his hand, waiting for her to come back home. And then luckily, he put a gun in his mouth and blew his brains out and lit himself on fire. I mean, seriously, thank God that whatever Damon was talking to, they're just like, fuck, we don't have time, just kill yourself. There's more fish in the sea, bro, down here in hell, come on. And during this time, a woman driving past the property was shot at 6 times by the guy, the stalker, who believed the driver was Miranda Cosgrove. Miranda! She's like a girl in a Prius. Yeah, it's the ending of Invasion of Body Snatchers. That kind of thing. Just some girl in a Prius. The woman was not harmed and later met the actress at a charity event and told her what had happened. Wow. Hey, I was shot at by your stalker. She's like, what?
I want to know the time frame too.
I feel like you gotta preface that before you come up. You know what I mean? If you're just like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. She's just like, your stalker shot at me. I'm totally fine. Because to me, that's like, you got some mental damage. And she's just like, by the way, he told me to send his regards. She's like, what? Pulls out like a Miranda Cosgrove admits that this event made her fearful to be alone in her own home, resulting in her often visiting friends and family out of fear of her safety. Of course, dude. Of course. My aunt, when she was like 12, I think, someone broke into her house like while they were sleeping and they woke up. And then for like 3 years, she had like horrible insomnia and nightmares. Like that that trauma of nothing even happening. If you wake up and someone's like, someone was in our house last night, so horrified to sleep at night and like suspicious and paranoia. So to have this happen to you, so targeted, there's no fucking way. Also, I would move. I would move out of that city. If I had the means and stuff, if I'm fucking Miranda Cosgrove, I am getting the fuck out of there. 100%, dude. You think that's the last iCarly fan in LA, bro? Nah. Or we can go to another celebrity like J-Lo. Everyone loves J-Lo. J-Lo stalker who camps in her home for a week. A stalker who was camping in her home for a week.
Little vacation.
Little vacation. We're gonna get to non-celebrity stuff too, but whenever I hear these stories, it's fucked up sometimes because I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not that famous. You know what I mean?
Not yet.
A lot of weirdos out there. You know what I mean? But in 2013, Jennifer Lopez discovered that one of her obsessive stalkers was living in her $10 million property for 6 days straight.
Was she in the house?
She would have had to been, right? The stalker's name was John Dubras, a 49-year-old retired firefighter who was in love with J-Lo and believed that they were meant to be. He would make odd posts on Facebook about his love for her, attaching strange images to them. You know, we see him here. He kind of looks... It's interesting how people can just look the part. You know what he kind of looks like? He looks like Jeremiah Sands from Mandy. That's what he reminds me of. Also, the amount of people who believe that they're dating celebrities online is crazy. Like schizophrenic people who are like, yep, me and... Billie Eilish. Me and Ariana Grande are in love. She's busy with work. Like that. And people fully believe it, dude. It's fucking crazy.
Me and Elphaba, we're dating.
Yeah, me and Elphaba, yeah. Flying around their house. The person's like tied up. Defy defying gravity. But anyways, this all accumulated in him driving to her home, somehow parking his car in front of the property without security guards noticing him. A $10 million property. How the f did he do that?
Behind a little bush. He just pulled up.
Yeah, he's in a Toyota Camry and it's just wrapped in twigs and leaves, and he's just like blasting J-Lo's music. I'm still Jenny from the block. He's like, he took refuge in J-Lo's pool shed at first, sleeping on the couch and sneaking around to explore the property for 6 days straight. This property here, I could believe that. Look how wide open that is.
I'm guessing, yeah, that pool house too. It's got like the little.
The pool house is so far away too. It's not like it's in some cramped suburban neighborhood or whatever. This is like, it looks like an East Coast property or something. During that time, he would take photos of himself on the property and upload it to social media, pretending he was a man named David A. Lopez, who was her supposed divorced husband, which also I like. He's just like, if I pretend to be her divorced husband, it'll make sense why I'm here. It's like if my dad went up to me, he's like, I'm in your mom's house. I'm like, what the f are you doing there, dude? Get out of there. Most of the time was spent lounging around, right? He was just making himself at home. He was cleaning up parts of the properties and uploading strange photos. Really, him documenting was just the strangest part of the story. And of course, you know, he was masturbating in the yard, right? We have to put that in there because he was. He's taking strange photos. Was he taking pictures of him beating off in the yard? I don't know.
Probably.
Maybe. But according to the stalker, he did so because he believed J-Lo wanted him to, quote, spread his seed throughout the world.
So he's gonna spread it on the lawn.
Miracle Grow. Neighbors noticed him wandering around with probably with a fucking hard cock beating off. They're like, hey, there's a guy beating off in our neighbor's yard. I can't even imagine what I'd do if I walk outside and I just saw a guy beating off and like coming on the grass. I mean, how would you even process it? Would you even intervene? I feel like I'd
call
just
the
be like,
cops.
oh, that's true. I was literally getting ready to say, I'd probably just be like shut my blinds. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to get in the middle of things. Neighbors noticed him wandering around, but let him be, thinking he was a security guard. J-Lo with her security guards who are hard all the time. It's like old money. These people. I don't want to pry. Probably because they have like a fucking opium den in their basement and whatever. Probably have some people chained up down there and they're just like, don't get involved. I have a feeling that like a lot of like super rich people, they have that kind of shit, dude. We have 4 Dominican girls in our basement. Let's go out on the yacht for a couple of days. Let the heat cool down. I thought almost like it's perfect to do a crime in a. We should not. I'm not going to talk about. I don't know where I'm going with this. Eventually, the guards found and confronted him, and police arrived investigating his car to find out that he was writing bizarre letters to celebrities, including Barack Obama.
He wanted to spread his seed to Barack.
Change. He was arrested and given a psychiatric evaluation, and soon after, when he was out of jail, he began calling J-Lo's mother, claiming to be her son, which landed him right back in prison and charged with stalking and burglary. I wonder how long he was actually in jail for. Or was his psychic evaluation so bad that they're just like, he's a fucking...
Well, he would be in a loony bin. They put him in.
Well, that's what you think, but I don't think like the asylums like that work anymore. I think it's like more so you get medically evaluated, then you're cleared, and then you can go back out or something. Or mentally evaluated, I want to say. We need to have it be a bit more severe here, right? We got to keep raising the bar, but also this is where it gets kind of serious. So not going to be doing a lot of jack off jokes during this part. Just want to say that because Rebecca Schaefer was shot by her stalker. Rebecca Schaefer was an American actress that tragically lost her life after being murdered on her front doorstep. Jesus Christ, dude. Before her abrupt death in 1989, her career was taking off. It seemed that her rise to stardom grabbed the attention of Robert John Bardo, a 19-year-old man that was enamored with the young actress after seeing her on TV while in high school. For 3 years, he would send her gifts like stuffed animals and letters. Schaefer was appreciative of the support and decided to respond kindly to one of them.
Mistake.
That's the fucking biggest mistake you could ever do. See, that's the thing too, even like with things online where it's like creepy fucking people online. You're so beautiful, I love you. Even if you're like, oh my God, thank you.
With a little heart?
Yeah, oh my God, thank you. Exclamation point. She loves me. As soon as you respond, they're going to take it however way they're going to take it to perpetuate this fucking mental war zone they have in their head. This flipped a switch in the man's mind, driving him to leave his home and travel to Los Angeles to express his love for her in person. Security officers caught him trying to enter the studio where she worked, bringing along flowers and a teddy bear, and the chief of security told LA Times, quote, I thought he was just lovesick, which I think he was. He was terribly insistent on being let in. Rebecca Schaefer was every other word. I gotta see her. I love her. If I could just see her for 1 minute. My God, dude. Do you think that they tell her that? This guy showed up. Like that, you know what I mean?
Oh, I think so. They probably would be like, hey, there's someone. I mean,
Well, I mean, I forgot. They're like, if it's clearly, well, because do they look at it like a crazed fan? And they're just like, don't bother with it.
Oh.
I don't want to freak her out.
Maybe.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder how much people are actually let in on like the weird shit that happens. But he was denied entrance and drove back home disappointed. He continued watching Schaefer on TV, but was filled with rage after witnessing a scene from the class struggle. In the movie, Rebecca Schaefer has a scene where she is in bed with a man. This is fucked. It's just one of those things where it's just like, you're cheating on me. It's like, it's my job. It's acting. It's not real. But Bardo was fed up, and he decided he would go the extra mile to finally meet her in person. He paid $300 to a private investigator and eventually acquired her home address. What kind of fucking private investigator takes that gig? I want to know where the celebrity lives. You got it. What? That cannot be legal, right?
Money's money, baby.
Or even just like ethical, like morally.
You can't let these two lovebirds be separated.
Exactly. Well, I can't stand in the way of love. All right, kid, I'll do it. Bardo knocked on her door, and when she answered, he handed her previously written letters and autographed papers to show he was her biggest fan. Schaefer was obviously weirded out, but shook his hand before politely telling him to leave. It's creepy. You know where I live. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye now. You crossed a bridge here. Bardo was furious. Thinking over the interaction at a nearby diner, he came up with an excuse to return to her house, which was to hand her another letter he had forgotten about, as well as a CD. According to Bardo, she was more callous in her response this time. After being told to leave once more, he responded saying, "I forgot to give you something," before pulling out a gun and shooting her in the chest. And before she died, the only thing she uttered out to the man was, "Why? Why?"
Jesus.
I would be fucking perplexed as well. Are you serious? Hello? Like, what the fuck? The man was sentenced to life in prison, and the case became so widely known that it ultimately led to the creation of an anti-stalking laws, which passed in California in 1990 before eventually spreading to the entire country. I'm surprised that wasn't sooner.
Oh, yeah.
I guess before it became such a mystique thing, it was so separated. Like nowadays with the internet, everything is so, like, people could find out anything about you. It's horrifying. Horrifying.
Was Lennon killed in America or
John Lennon?
John
Yeah,
Lennon,
he was
yeah.
shot in New York.
I was gonna say I'm surprised that wasn't. But I guess was he stalking? He just showed up in front of his house, right?
Well, it's a very famous hotel in New York.
I see.
And people, I guess, would always swarm and be like, oh, that guy, it was more so he read Catcher in the Rye, I think. And that's when he's like, I have to kill John Lennon, versus him being obsessed with him. If anything, I don't know if we go over this one, but it reminds me also, years later in 2004, Pantera, one of my favorite bands, Dimebag was shot on stage. That was before people, you could just go to a show and be right up in front of the stage and see the fucking band you love right there, and there wasn't a lot of security, so a guy just came in and shot him to death on stage. Fucking crazy, man. And it's all just because your last band broke up and I'm upset. And it's like, I mean, like, these people are just completely mentally devoid of any actual cognitive ability to rationalize what they're doing, I guess. Or we could talk about a very infamous one, which I remember, this is one of the first internet videos I ever saw.
Oh, wow.
Seriously, the very infamous Bjork stalker. Ricardo Lopez, known as the Bjork stalker, is one of the most infamous cases of celebrity stalking ever told. This was a very infamous case. This was also, I think, whenever the internet was just coming around, and really, I feel like one of the first viral cases of like a video being spread around. I was like, I don't know, 32 at that time or something. Internet and everything was just such a new thing in my area, but still. At age 17, he became enamored with the Icelandic artist Bjork, obsessively trying to contact her via handwritten letters whilst researching every last detail about her life. It seemed that there was nothing sexual about his love for the artist, more so that he deeply wished to have an effect on her life in some way, shape, or form. He conveyed these feelings to his family and peers who were all creeped out, encouraging him to meet a real woman. The idea too, it's like it wasn't even sexually driven, it was just like, I need to make an impact on her life in some way. I don't know why, it just feels so much like alien or something, doesn't it? Like, it feels not even human. I mean, don't get me wrong, the sexual side would also be just like horrible as well, but it's just mostly the idea that's just like you're fixated on like, I need to make an impact. It feels like fucking paranormal almost, some kind, or like,
You know what maybe my thought is? It's like he's a failed artist, he's depressed, but here's an artist who's successful, and it's like latching on and being like, if I could somehow influence her and her art, that's
yeah,
how
it's
I
like
could.
I failed artistically myself. It's like, in a way, it's vicariously being artistic through someone else is what it is. These feelings of his began to unravel as it was revealed in 1996 that Bjork was dating another artist named Clifford Joseph Price, also known as Goldie. The betrayal, he felt, transitioned into pure rage, and Ricardo felt that he had no choice but to punish her.
He talked all about her, how he liked her, and once he met her, he couldn't, I'm just gonna have to kill her.
He said he didn't like her.
Well, I mean, like, exactly. I think it's always comes down to a primal thing. I think there's no way to discern that. It's like the same thing of like, it's not even like the person's looks. That's just, I like this personality. But really, it's like all these things are tied up with all this like fucking monkey primal shit where it's like, things are, you're attractive, I'm attracted to you, whatever. Once again, another case. How many of these, almost every case so far has been somebody is in the perception in their head that they are like, we're dating, or like, I'm in love with you and you don't know it yet. And then because they're somehow dating someone else, that's like the trigger that it sends them over the, over the edge. Because also I feel like it's like you've lost all hope. All hope is lost.
It's the fantasy, and then once they start dating someone,
yeah, it breaks the illusion.
It's supposed to be me.
Yeah, in a fucked way. And at this point, he began a series of videotapes where he documented his journey to enact his revenge towards Bjork. He would ramble about his love for her while slowly developing a plan to get his revenge. One of his plans included a hollow-out book that would be programmed to release AIDS, tainted needles he would somehow acquire from a prostitute. This plan was a bust, and he eventually landed on a letter bomb filled with sulfuric acid, which would be mailed to her home in the hopes of either killing her or at least doing irreversible damage. My God. After he sent out this envelope of sulfuric acid, he planned to take his own life at the same time that Bjork would. He tried to line it up.
I'm waiting for, as soon as the manager leaves, I'm going to do it.
Whenever Bjork would open it, they would pretty much die at the same time. And in his final tape, titled Last Day, Ricardo is seen naked with his entire head shaved, painted red and black. Which, if you haven't seen this is the video that I saw. This is the video that made it around, whatever. One of the most frightening videos of all time, honestly. He props up a sign behind him labeled, The Best of Me, September 12th. And while listening to Bjork's I Remember You, he tells the camera, this is for you, before shooting himself in the head. I think the goal was to have his blood and brain matter paint the sign behind him, but whenever you watch the video, he shoots himself and it just like oozes out of his mouth. It's I don't know. I wonder if you probably still find that video.
Oh yeah, I saw it on Twitter. That's how I found this
Oh,
story.
you found it on Twitter? Yeah, there you go. I wouldn't recommend looking up it. I mean, it's fucking brutal.
I didn't watch it. I just saw the opening.
This is the last song. After this, I'm done.
I didn't know. Well, I had no idea what it was. I'm just this 30-year-old guy who's like looking at this thing. The internet still fucking new. You're like, what is this? What the hell? His face is all painted. It's creepy. Also, even the Bjork music videos have this like weird style to them. So it's like you have this guy here, you have the Bjork music video going on in the background, and then all of a sudden he does it. It's nothing like a movie. I just want to say that in movies it's like instant whatever. It's whatever. Which a maintenance worker smelled his rotting corpse, which eventually led to police finding his body. They found all of his recorded tapes with the writing on the wall reading, the 8mm tapes are a documentation of a crime, terrorist matter, and they are for the FBI. After watching the tapes and realizing that he had already mailed the bomb, they had to rush to identify the exact address of the video in order to trace and seize the bomb before it did harm to anyone. In an interview, Bjork described the entire incident as incredibly sad, revealing that she struggled to sleep for a week afterwards.
It's just kind of a very sad thing, obviously when somebody shoots their face off, I'm not sure if I'll remember it properly for a while.
Even so, she sent flowers to Ricardo's family. Bjork's a champion, man. It's such a weird area. I feel so bad for these people being completely tormented and like also living in an alternate reality of everyone else. It doesn't take away from any of the crimes that they do or, the tragic things they do. They need to be held totally accountable for that, but it is also tragic. Very, very sad. Pivot that into Taylor Swift, an also giant pop icon, and her many stalkers. Fucking goddamn, dude. Taylor Swift, tons of stalkers. Too many. The price of fame. As you can imagine, Taylor Swift is no stranger to stalkers. After all, she is the most famous, probably musician in the world, I would say.
Bigger than Michael?
Bigger than Michael Jackson. Yeah. She basically employs more security guards than the president does at this point, but it seems to be because she's in constant danger from creeps and crazy fanatics. It's the same kind of thing that Michael Jackson did, where it's a kind of fandom that goes past where even the sight of you throws people into hysteria. You can't, like falling down. It's a god. She is a new religion, literally. She even admitted to carrying army-grade bandages with her to her shows in the situation where she's stabbed or shot on stage, and she has to do a fucking military thing of plugging the hole. I'm guessing is what that is. And here is just a few of these kooky little instances, right? We could talk about in 2018 with Eric Swarbrick, a 26-year-old. Eric Swarbrick, a former client of Taylor's record label at the time, began sending letters to the CEO insisting he introduce him to Taylor Swift. That's fucking crazy. A person on the inside becoming obsessed. How many famous people does he run through? And to be enamored by this person? Jesus, dude. The letter started rather innocently, but became more and more aggressive over time. 40 letters later, he began to talk in a more violent and sexual nature. He even drove to BMLG in person to deliver the letters personally before being detained and arrested for trespassing. He was relentless, now sending various letters that contained straight-up threats, as well as insist he would take his own life in front of the staff. Bit of a weird bargaining chip there. He was arrested and later sentenced to 30 months of prison for stalking. Should it not be longer?
That's almost 3 years.
Yeah, but you're also saying, hey, I'm going to kill you. 40 times over, he has gone to the place. At what points do they need to be taken more seriously? Is this 3 years of rehabilitation? Is that a long enough time? I don't know.
That's a long time to sit and think.
A long time to sit and steam over something too. I mean, am I wrong?
I don't know. Well, how long do you think they should stay?
I mean, I don't know. If people get life in prison, half a life, 40 years, if you go to that extreme, and it's just like, he's probably gonna do it, on some level should feel attributed to the crime that is going to be committed. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, dude. Come on. The letters are crazy. 3 years. Go ahead.
Well, he probably got out on good behavior.
And it's probably less than 3 years, yeah. I mean, he probably got out on good behavior and he's just like, I'm fine now. You know what I mean?
Instantly started writing letters.
Yeah, Ice Spice. Or we could talk about Roger Alvarado, who's a 22-year-old in 2019. Roger Alvarado was sentenced to 6 months in prison after breaking into Taylor Swift's $18 million townhouse in Soho. Luckily, Taylor was not home at the time. All right, so this guy, only 6 months for breaking in.
For burglary?
I mean, I'm not even burglary, but like, is he gonna fucking kill her in there? I mean, I don't know. When the police entered the scene, they saw that he not only used her shower, but was sleeping in her bed.
He was waiting.
6 months? Am I wrong? I feel like I'm going crazy. You're making me think that these are totally fine.
So this one feels like you're trespassing. You're breaking and entering. So it's like, what
And you're waiting.
Yeah, your intentions are dubious.
Yes. After he was arrested, Taylor Swift received an order of protection against him. However, this didn't stop Alvarado. Later that same year, he used a ladder to once again enter her home through the second floor patio door at 2 a.m. He smashed through the window with a concrete block, then rapidly ransacked the place. He was once again charged, partly for violating the order of protection.
See, at that point, send him in longer.
That's
Repeat.
what I'm saying. What the fuck is going on, dude? Like, you could send somebody 6 months. Is that enough time for them to lose an obsession?
6 months now.
Also, pop star. It's not like the amount of times I've seen Taylor Swift, heard Taylor Swift involuntarily just because she's the biggest pop star. Going to a grocery store, hearing it, brands, all kinds of stuff. Are these not things that are just like re-triggering people's fucking brains to be like, oh wait, I am actually fucking crazy and obsessed with this person?
Yeah. Also, I think 6 months just obsessive. When I get out.
Yeah, okay, buddy, you broke the order of protection. Sleeping in her bed and all that stuff. Sure. We don't know what he was gonna do with her. It's like, what the f do you think he was gonna do? Or that same year, man, 2019 was a rough year for Taylor. Good Lord. David Page Little, a 32-year-old. People in the neighborhood reported a strange man pacing around Taylor's boatyard. God, she has like a fucking Call of Duty map in her in her fucking house. When stopped by police, his excuse for being on the property was that they were personal friends and that she was going to help him launch his singing career. It turns out that this man was already on a watch list, which led to his belongings being searched. They found a variety of burglary tools and weapons, which led him to being arrested and forced to take a mental health evaluation. The case was ultimately dismissed. What is happening? What?
I pinky promise I'll never do it again, Your Honor.
All right, I goofed. Like, all right, getting out of here. We talked about a lot of celebrities. I just want to talk about 2 instances of non-celebrity stalkers, because it's not just celebrities that have to deal with creeps. I'm sure there's even viewers that have had to deal with weird stalking situations. Our viewers here, I'm sure there's some of you out there who might have had to deal with it, and it's crazy. You don't have to be a celebrity. You can just be a regular person in the real world that gets attached to one of these leeches. With the rise of everyday people streaming and filming themselves, you end up getting deeper look into how common these actual things are.
Have you seen the video of the Japanese woman going up to those streamers?
Yeah, I've seen that. I forgot the Jake. You see the guy like walking right behind her, and she like has to pretend that they're friends. And the guy is like so close to them still. Like, it's very obvious, like, hey, I'm here with my people. And he's just like standing behind her waiting. It's fucking horrifying, man. It's not just celebrities that have to deal with these creeps. This is a problem for most people, especially women. Let's be honest, mostly women.
Some guys too.
Yeah, some guys, okay? Not just girls, it's guys too. It's mostly women, let's be honest. We can talk about some cases, like this case right here. A man who tormented his ex for 5 years. One of my friends, his wife now was basically stalked by her ex for, I think, 2 years.
Oh, shit.
This is way more common than you think, man. It's fucking crazy. But in this case, 35-year-old Christopher Charles Gafford had been in a relationship with a woman for 8 years, even having a child together. After intense physical and emotional abuse, she left and ended all communication with him. He began endlessly trying to contact her, sending increasingly more insane and aggressive messages. And he would send videos of himself. You know, videos and pictures of himself, you know what I mean? And even make serious threats, like insisting that he would, quote, rip her parents' heads off and down their necks. Can you imagine getting a pic and all of a sudden she's just like, also, remember, you know your mom Mary? I'm ripping her fucking head off and down her neck. I don't even know how to fucking process that. Just look at... You know what I mean? Like, what? It's like, have you ever seen The Headless Horseman? The Tim Burton movie? Yeah, that's gonna be your parent. You're like, what are you talking about, dude? But this harassment would continue for 5 years straight. The woman and her new husband were constantly afraid for their safety. She would change her phone number up to 10 times in a year. But somehow, he would always find her contact and continue the harassment. And ultimately, she had to get rid of her phone for her own sanity. She couldn't even use her phone, right? Somehow, some way, getting some information. Would the kid maybe give it to him?
I was gonna say he's got a guy on the inside at T-Mobile.
Yeah. She's not switching her data plan, is she? And does she know the rates? But Gafford then acquired the husband's contact, and the abuse continued. The threats started to become more demented, like how he intended to basically assault their daughter. Gafford was successfully ruining many aspects of their life, even from far away. After enough threats to their local daycare, they decided to expel their daughter to save themselves the headache of putting up with the harassment.
The daycare expelled them?
The daycare is just like, get her out, we're tired of the calls. Which, here's the thing, my knee gut reaction is I'm like, a bunch of pussies, dude. Also, like, waited just like, we don't want her, we can't protect her. But also, I wonder how much of it is them being like, we're getting harassed for the safety of other people, we cannot watch this person. I mean, that's realistically what it is. But my knee gut reaction is I'm just like, cowards. But for the safety of other people, I get it.
How did they not find this guy?
Well, the harassment was now affecting her children's relationship as well as her business. It was at this point that Gafford was taken to court, where he immediately apologized and pleaded guilty to cyber stalking. What a fucking pussy, dude. F that guy. God.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
He told the court, quote,
The things I threatened to do, only a monster would do, and I had no intention of carrying out those threats.
fuck you, dude. Attention grabbing son of a bitch. Like, seriously. Because he was previously convicted for physical abuse against the woman, his claim held no weight. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison, after which he would no longer be able to use a computer or access the internet without court approval. See, where is that with the other places, right? And I'm sure, you know, you say, how do they not know where he's at? I think that it's probably difficult whenever you share a child with somebody. But still, even then, I wonder if the new husband was just like, I'm going to go over there and break this guy's legs. And, you know, the person's just like, no, don't. He's just not right in the head. Because also, if you're with somebody for so long too, just because they transform into a monster, you don't know the mental tolls and physical tolls that happen between something to where maybe even fucking shell shock from something or fucking PTSD from that relationship of just being like, just don't even fuck with it. Just let him do his thing. And, you know, it's better off that way. So funny though. Only a monster would do that. You know, he did that because she probably showed up and he's just like, see, I'm such a sweet guy. It's just manipulative bullshit. Him. Or we could talk about an infamous case of the Narcy Novak murders. In Florida, a horrific case of stalking led to the gruesome death of a talented couple, Bernice and Ben Novak. Bernice was a former model that worked for big names like Coca-Cola and even Salvador Dali. Her husband Ben was the builder and heir to the luxurious Fontainebleau Miami Beach Hotel. And while he passed away in 1985, Bernice was left with a considerable amount of money, very wealthy. She was left with a lot of dough. Together, they retired to a wealthy neighborhood to live the rest of their lives comfortably. One day, in 2019, Bernice was found dead at 87 years old in her garage in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Her death was believed to be caused by a nasty fall, not too uncommon with women her age, right? Life alert. Hello? Exactly. Didn't have the clicker. The case seemed to be cut and dry until 3 months later, when it was revealed that her husband had a 53-year-old long-lost son named Ben Novak Jr. that was found gruesomely beaten to death in a Hilton hotel. Ben Jr.'s wife, Narcy Novak, had found him half naked on the floor, tied and covered in duct tape, with his eyes cut out of his head.
Jesus.
And after reviewing Narcy and her daughter's key cards for the hotel, it was discovered that Narcy was the only person to use it to get into the room that day. She soon became a suspect, and after agreeing to a lie detector test, she failed 5 times.
Do you think she's just like, it failed once, or like, oh, this isn't looking good? She's like, do it again, run it again.
Yeah, like an Amex card at a place. No, it's good. It's just kind of a weird chip. Just read it. Yeah. The case became complex, leading to further investigation to Bernice's passing as well. Detectives that were at the scene of Bernice's death had been suspicious for a long time because her injuries went far beyond of a simple fall. You know, like in hindsight, you're like, oh, it's just a fall. But then when you look at it again, you're like, why does she have a giant crowbar-shaped marking on her back? You know, like one of those things. But after all, her entire body was injured, and her knuckles and teeth were bashed in. Where the f did she fall from? Well, it was 6 flights of stairs. It's like, what? Meanwhile, Narcy, who was a former stripper, was revealed to be incredibly malicious after stories came out about her bizarre antics. The former stripper thing isn't be a stripper if you want, I don't give a f. But I think it's more so that like parts of her past were unraveled that maybe even the family didn't know about at the time. You know, like was she playing a character? Who knows? And once in 2002, Narcy tied up her husband while she ransacked the place of cash and other valuable items, and Novak was later released and contacted the police. police. So even before she fucking robbed him, and she still stayed with him?
Or he stayed with her.
Here he stayed with her? Well, she's a crazy drug, my friends. Speaking to the police, she insisted that this was merely a sex game that got a little out of control and began showing them pornographic fetish photos to make it seem like it was just, we were just really into weird, sexual, strange acts, right? It's just role play. Have you heard of it? One of these photos depicted naked amputee porn.
Ampuporn?
Ampuporn? Novak, humiliated, backed away from filing charges. After considering a divorce, he decided to begin having an affair with a porn actress named Rebecca Bliss instead for $300 an hour.
It's cheaper than the divorce.
Yeah, he's just like, it cheaper than my alimony. Which Narcy found out about this and had a reason to believe that she was going to be left for a measly sum of money from their prenuptial agreement. Despite him being the heir of a multi-million-dollar estate, she's just like, I'm gonna get divorced. I can't compete with this $300 fucking Groupon of a prostitute. He's gonna leave me nothing, and he gets millions and millions of dollars. That's not fair. Allegedly, this filled her with anger and jealousy and fueled her desire to orchestrate a revenge plot. She hired an assortment of associates, including her brother Cristobal Velez, to murder both Bernice as well as Ben Novak Jr. in order to inherit the family fortune. According to some of the hired goons, Narcy was even there to see her husband's death. She helped by handing them a pillow to muffle his screams. The truth behind Bernice, however, was that one of the other goons was told to beat her to death with a monkey wrench. God damn, dude. Why? Why her? Don't kill her at all, but I'm saying, like, can you not just shoot her in the back of the head? What the f did she do that was so bad?
Make it seem like an accident.
Yeah, make her fall. Well, I guess that's true. Yeah, make it. Throw her down her steps 8 times.
Break her knuckles.
Break her knuckles and teeth with a monkey wrench. People will think she just fell. It's like 2 steps. Narcy and her brother were convicted for murder, among many other charges like stalking and money laundering. They were both sentenced to life in prison without parole, and Narcy is no longer able to inherit anything from her husband's estate. Everyone involved in the murder was charged to a lesser extent after pleading guilty. It's like a mixture of like a bunch of like famous fucking murder cases or whatever. It reminds me of like the Black Dahlia murder in some weird way, where it's just like this mysterious thing, except this one, people are just stupid. You're gonna get caught. You're going to get caught. It's insane.
But maybe you won't.
The moral of the story is, it's nice to be rich and famous, but it comes with the cost of, you're just exposed to people. People, me and you. I'm gonna tell you right now, dude, I love you guys. You're my viewers. At the same time, don't stalk me. Okay? If I see you in public, shake my hand, dude. Hey, nice meeting you. I love having conversations with people. Do I love you? Like, actually? No. I love you as in, like, we're homies. That's cool. There's nothing there. Just want to say, if there's someone at stalk, if you think that we're in a relationship or anything, we're not. I just want to put that out there, I guess. If you think that, like, we could be best friends, we couldn't. It's not an organic way to do it. There's nothing natural about it. But that's the price that comes with me being a personal figure. Something I have to deal with. But even people in your real life that you work at FedEx and now one of your coworkers, that's shit that's real too. So I just gotta say out there, from both ends, if you're being stalked or something's weird, tell somebody. Get help. You know what I mean? Don't just be like, he's just crazy. Or she, it's fine. She's just emotional. Find help immediately. And also, if you're secretly in love with somebody and you're doing things that you think are romantic, they're probably not, dude. Move on.
That's me. I did that.
Really?
Well, just giving gifts to someone who didn't want them.
Oh, sure. I mean, there's a difference between giving gifts and being like, I like you, and then taking the hint and moving on versus how long have you been doing this? Have you even talked to this person?
Oh, yeah. No,
Is this real? You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. Look at the signs, right? Turn it around. Figure yourself out, all right? The weirdest stalking thing I had was when I was in LA, and I think I posted on a story that I was shooting pool somewhere. I can't remember exactly what it was, but basically the person was just following me. And then they would message me and like take pictures of me from like across the street. And they were sending it to my Instagram and stuff.
Horrifying.
It was really scary. I don't think I really took it as serious as I should. I'm like, what the fuck? And I kept like looking around, but I should have taken it more seriously. That's all I gotta say. Stalking is a fucking horrifying thing. There really is very few things in life I find more horrifying than the idea of like somebody watching you. Locking your door at night does nothing, like that's like just a horrifying feeling. So all I gotta say is happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there, and stay safe for the love of God. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Yeah, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. Please don't leave me.